What's going on, everyone? Guys, you already know who the boy is. I don't even need to have an introduction. It's Lord Alpaca, Simple Alpaca, whatever you want to call me. And today I kind of want to do a quick review, but this one's probably still going to end up being longer because I'm such a rambler. But I recently, if you guys don't know a little bit of backstory, I was such an idiot. I don't know what I was thinking. I picked up the Samsung Galaxy S10, but I was leaving out the S10e and the S10 Plus. But I picked up the S10e like 2 months ago. But I recently picked up the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, and I know a lot of you guys still want to see how this brand new phone compares to even older devices. And the predecessor, technically speaking, of the S10 Plus was the S9 Plus, and I own that device too. I've owned every single Galaxy S series, Galaxy Note series, iPhone. So those are all commas. It's not like I own one device that's like that. I've owned every single one of those. Not trying to flex. Obviously, you guys bought me those things to begin with because you guys watch these videos. But the least I can do to repay you guys is to kind of compare these, see which one is better. I mean, obviously the Galaxy S10 Plus is a much better device. It has way more quirks, way more features, way more cooler things. But is it worth the extra money? Because the Galaxy S9 Plus, you can probably pick one up for less than $300 easily. I mean, I've even seen some of these go for like 200 and 250, which is still less than 300, but you guys know what I mean. But the Galaxy S10 Plus is still selling for, even in the used market, where it's depreciated a lot, it's still selling for like $550, $600. $550 is like the absolute lowest I've seen. Would you rather spend more money, twice the amount on the S10 Plus, or save some money and pick up an older generation, the S9 Plus? Now, the S9 Plus came out in February of 2018. The Galaxy S10 Plus came out in 2019 in February, so they came out just a year apart from each other, which honestly is not a lot of time. And looking on the front, we have a 6.2-inch Super AMOLED display, 1440p on the Galaxy S9 Plus. And on the Galaxy S10 Plus, we have the dynamic AMOLED display. And that one is 6.4 inches, and that is also 1440p. But here's the interesting thing. The pixels per inch is actually higher on the Galaxy S9 Plus than on the Galaxy S10 Plus. And you might look at that and you might be like, oh my god, the S9 Plus has a better screen, this or that. That's not technically the case because the S10 Plus has a bigger screen than the S9 Plus, so that kind of makes sense. And I will say the S9 Plus's display is very good. There's literally nothing wrong with it. I think it's still an amazing, probably one of the best displays in the market. But the Galaxy S10 Plus's display is a whole nother level, okay? First of all, I kind of like the facade of having almost no bezel except that hole punch display, but the Galaxy S9 Plus still has a little bit of bezel on it. It's still not a lot, don't get me wrong, like it's very low from what they were coming from for the Galaxy S7 and the S7 Edge. But the Galaxy S10 Plus, I mean, this is the future of phones. You know, we're going to be going into that bezel-less trend, and either you catch up now or you catch up later. And if you're looking at them side by side, it's not a big deal. Like, you can hang on with the S9 Plus. It's not like you're suffering or anything. That's still a tremendous device. But the Galaxy S10 Plus's design is very nice in my opinion. And even though they feel kind of similar in the hand, the S10 Plus and the S9 Plus, they both feel, you know, glass on the back, glass on the front, tapered edges on the sides. I definitely do like the Galaxy S10 Plus's design a bit more. And the interesting thing is on the back, you have a triple camera setup on the S10 Plus, which I'll get into in a second. On the back of the S9 Plus, you have a dual camera setup, but right underneath that dual camera setup, you have the fingerprint sensor, which is honestly, I don't know why they put it there to begin with. It's still in a better position, but they should have put the cameras a little bit higher because sometimes when you're unlocking your phone with your fingerprint, you end up smudging the camera like all the time, which could be a con for you. Maybe you want to clear your camera out at the same time. I don't know, but that's one little thing that kind of always irked me about, especially the Galaxy S8. I don't know what they were thinking about that, but they both have USB Type-C ports, both have headphone jacks, which is really, really nice. The Galaxy S10 Plus does have the fingerprint sensor underneath the display, which is awesome. That is a crazy cool feature. And again, that's like the future of devices, without a doubt. They both have IP68 dust and water resistance. They call it waterproof, so you can go up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. So that is a really cool thing. If you're someone who's active, you know, I've never personally broken my phone, but I know people who have broken their iPhones and Androids and stuff, and having that type of resistance in a phone will only make your experience that much better, in my opinion. Now, in terms of software, this is where some people will disagree, some people will agree. It really just depends. But the Galaxy S9 Plus started off with Android Oreo. You are able to get Android One UI on it, which is Android Pie. I'm pretty sure it's going to get Android Q as well whenever that comes out. But the Galaxy S10 Plus is going to get an extra year of support on top of the S9 Plus. So it's getting Android Pie, it already got it. It's getting Android Q once that officially comes out. And then it's going to get Android whatever they're going to call after that. Whatever Android R is, Android 11, it's going to get that one as well. So you're going to get an extra year of support on the S10 Plus. But I will say is that Android versions, they do update, and the kind of same thing with iOS updates too, but as long as your apps are still getting supported through the App Store or the Play Store, whatever, you will be set. Like, you can even go like 2 years after the lifespan of the software support of the S9 Plus or the S10 Plus or whatever, and still be perfectly fine, because most of the features and things you're going to be using of your phone are going to be from apps. And as long as, like I said, those apps are supported from the App Store, then you'll be set. It's really not that big of a deal. But I have seen cases before where people were like freaking out and they're like, oh my God, my S9 Plus is not getting software anymore. I have to go update. And if you're like one of those people, then obviously the S10 Plus is the better phone because you can get more software. And it's not even more software, it's just a newer device. You're still probably getting the same amount of versions on it, but that is one thing to note right there. But the other thing is that the S9 Plus, because it is a little bit of an older device, the third-party community behind it in terms of custom ROMing and rooting kind of already are in place for the S9 Plus. Where the S10 Plus, it's kind of new. So if you're wanting to custom ROM and get third-party support for your phone, the S9 Plus might have the advantage. It has that third-party developer community behind it. So that is a pretty big deal right there. So whether you like stock software or you want to root and custom ROM, both phones will eventually be fine. But that is one important thing to note about the Galaxy S9 Plus. But without a doubt, the Galaxy S10 Plus will definitely last you longer in terms of software support. Now, in terms of the actual power of both devices, I will definitely tell you without a doubt, the Galaxy S10 Plus is one of the fastest phones I've ever used in my life. It's like as soon as you click on something, it immediately opens. It's just crazy how that phone is just blazing fast. And even compared to the Galaxy S9 Plus, it's definitely faster than the S9 Plus. But I'm not trying to say the S9 Plus is a slow device either. Let me just tell you the specs to get out of the way, then I'll tell you my experience with it. The S9 Plus has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 chipset, an octa-core CPU, an Adreno 630 GPU, and 6 gigs of RAM, whereas the S10 Plus has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 chipset. It also has an octa-core CPU. It has the Adreno 640 GPU, and depending on the variant you get, you either get 8 gigs of RAM or you get 12 gigs of RAM if you get the 1TB version, which is crazy. Now, my specific version, I have the 8 gig option, which is the lowest option as the base model, and even this model is crazy. I mean, literally it's the fastest thing I've ever used. Maybe the OnePlus 7 Pro is a little bit faster, but it's definitely one of the fastest phones I've ever used. Whatever you're going to do with it is going to be perfectly fine. But I don't know how to describe this. This is the first time I've ever stated this, so you guys are getting an exclusive, but I've always noticed with the S10 Plus, that screen seems like it's a little bit more sensitive to my liking. It's like as soon as I even like fumble the phone a little bit in my hand, it's like I immediately click like 20 different things on it. It's like kind of annoying. I have to quickly like hit the home button and kind of like hop out of it, and it's just kind of weird. The S9 Plus, I never had that issue. I don't know if it's like the design or if it's like because there's less bezel on the S10 Plus and you kind of have more space to put your fingers on, but that's not really a performance thing. But dude, the S10 Plus definitely is faster than the S9 Plus, but if you're not comparing them side by side, like if you use the S9 Plus, then you went to the S10 Plus, then it's not going to be that big of a deal. But without a doubt, the S10 Plus is a way faster device, in my opinion, than the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. The 10 was like a 10 out of 10, no pun intended. The S9 would probably be like a 8 out of 10. It's still really good, probably like an 8.5 out of 10. It's still passing, it's still doing great, but it's definitely not as fast as its newer, younger brother. Now that kind of covers up the performance. Let's go and hit on the camera, and I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it because without a doubt, the Galaxy S10 Plus's camera is way better in my opinion. You have a dual camera setup on the S9 Plus. Both sensors are 12 megapixels. Both sensors have optical image stabilization. The S10 Plus, however, has 3 cameras on the back. You have 2 12 megapixel sensors, then you have an extra 16 megapixel ultra wide sensor, which is awesome. You can shoot 4K videos on both phones at 60 frames per second, which is amazing. And without a doubt, I'll definitely tell you the S10 Plus not only has more functions and features, but it just overall is a better sensor from what I was able to test at the time of me using both devices. But the S9 Plus still gets the job done. It's still an amazing camera. Audio quality still needs a lot of work on both devices in my opinion. But without a doubt, the Galaxy S10 Plus is the better camera here by far, and it's probably one of the best photography taking cameras in the market right now. I mean, there's probably some phones I'm missing out on, but it's definitely a huge phone in terms of that. The front camera, 10 megapixel on the S10 Plus, 8 megapixels on the S9 Plus, 1440p videos on the Galaxy S9 Plus, 4K videos on the front of the S10 Plus, which is amazing. That's so cool. So without a doubt, both cameras are very, very good, but obviously the S10 Plus has the advantage here. Now let's go ahead and top this whole entire thing off with the battery life. And again, it's just like the S10 Plus wins in like every single way you look at it. So the S9 Plus had the 3500 mAh battery. Not a horrible battery, without a doubt, but like because it is a year old, it's probably depreciated a little bit. It's a non-removable battery, so you have to take apart the phone to put it back in. The Galaxy S10 Plus, because it is newer, it has a fresher battery inside of it. The S10 Plus on stock has 4100 mAh battery. And like I stated, I mean, it's no fault to the S9 Plus. It shouldn't even really be a con. But if you're getting this phone used or new, you kind of have to keep that in mind. Obviously, new, you're not going to have an issue with the battery. But if you're getting this thing used, if you're getting the Galaxy S10 Plus used, the battery probably has depreciated a little bit on both devices, but without a doubt, the Galaxy S10 Plus, so far from what I'm able to tell, not only is actually using the device and flipping through things and performance heavy, whatever, not only is that battery life good, but also standby time is very, very good on the S10 Plus. And on my S9 Plus, like, I didn't really think it was that notable on standby time. I think it was pretty average. So maybe that had a lot to do with the hardware they instilled in it, but maybe it has to do with the software as well with One UI. So that kind of covers up mostly everything I wanted to hit on. But one of the main things also about the Galaxy S10 Plus is that it does have reverse wireless charging. So you can actually charge a Galaxy S9 Plus from your Galaxy S10 Plus, which is actually kind of funny and actually really, really cool. At first, I thought it was more of a novelty, but I can see how you could possibly use this outside of just trying to flex on your friends to show you like, oh my God, look at what I can do. Like, it's honestly whatever, but it's a cool little thing. If you have like other wireless charging devices, or you want to charge another device and you only brought one charger or something and your phone still has wireless charging, you can easily just pop this on for a couple seconds, a couple minutes. I mean, it's a slow charger, no doubt, but it still gets the job done in my opinion. So this is what I will tell you, okay? It's obvious. I told you from the beginning, the Galaxy S10 Plus is the better device by far. The Galaxy S9 Plus isn't a horrible phone, but the Galaxy S10 Plus, it's like comparing like me to like, I don't even know. There's no one who compared to like Lord Alpaca. You guys already know, but the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is an amazing device without a doubt. But the Galaxy S9 Plus also, like if you're on a budget, or even if you're not on a budget, if you even own an S9 Plus or you're getting one for a good price or whatever, the S9 Plus is still a tremendous device. You still have a lot of the features that the S10 Plus has. You're kind of missing out on reverse wireless charging, an extra camera sensor. Maybe it doesn't have as good of a camera, maybe it doesn't have as good as battery life or performance or whatever, but you're still getting a very good phone, a very good package, and there's really no reason to like look over and brush over the Galaxy S9 Plus, because just because the Galaxy S10 Plus is out and it's so much better, whatever, doesn't necessarily mean the S9 Plus is still bad or anything. And it's getting an extra year of support, the S9 Plus is, so you'll be set for a little bit longer. So I'll go ahead and go on Amazon. I'll find the cheapest prices for the S9 Plus and the S10 Plus. There'll be the first links down in the description. If you want to purchase it from there, you can help support the channel at the same time. But that is pretty much it. If you have any other questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section as well. Hit that like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it'll mean so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, all those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys, and hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.